Moon Knight issue 24. We are ramping up to the anniversary edition, and I'm starting to think, like, what's the anniversary? Because it's not 35 years, but I feel like it's over 30. Is it the 40th anniversary that we're ramping up to, or just like a Moon Knight book making it to 25 issues? Either way, it's insane. This is such a good issue. This is the kind of thing I think Jed McKay has done so well with the book that not a lot of other talents have done perfectly. Like, this type of story in particular can come across as so like arrogant if it's handled poorly, where Mark just seems like a sadistical lunatic, but this is how you handle it properly. And it's really fun and it works well. Federico Sabatini is back for the artwork. I get it, big stuff coming up in issue 25. We'll get our relief pitcher to throw the ball this time. Might as well do it. We open up this book. We are in the Spectre residence in Long Island, and Mark is grilling something on the barbecue, and we see Marlene and Beatrice are like setting a table outside at a picnic, and like Jean Paul's on his way over with his boyfriend, and we're like, what's going on? Wait, these characters don't really appear in the book. We see that Uncle Pete shows up, Marlene's brother shows up, and we see that Beatrice's grandpa shows up, so Dr. Arlane shows up. You're like, whoa, he's dead though, right? Yeah, he's dead. Why is he showing up? And then we see that Randall shows up, and his parents show up, and Mark's entire family is showing up, and it's a sweet moment. You're like, this is weird. What's happening? It's like, huh. I mean, you did it, Mark. Look at you. You had a great family, met a nice girl, you fell in love, you're doing great. He's like, no, I didn't. I mean, I did that, but not that way. I'm like seeing the tiger lady right now. I'm with Greer. What is this? And suddenly, he hears somebody say Moon Knight very loud. He's like, oh, something stabbing him into reality. So when he turns back around to see the barbecue, he sees the skeletons of the dead around him, including his parents, his brother, Marlene's father, and her brother. A lot of death in this family. You can understand why none of it's working well. So Mark suddenly snaps back into reality, and he is like asleep on the floor of a building. Is it his office? It's hard to tell. It looks like it could be his therapist and Reese there with him, but I don't think it is them. So he's just knocked out somewhere in a building. And he wakes up, and Flint's on the other line like, what, you fell asleep too? He's like, oh shit, I fell asleep. He got me. Okay, now we know what's going on here. We figured out the situation. Mark was dreaming about a future he could never have. We know what it is now. It's Morpheus, a classic Moon Knight villain being reintroduced into modern context. And this is the thing. I've said it for a long time. I'll say it again here. Moon Knight does have a rogues gallery. They're not the best characters in the world. So when you do a one-off story like this, that's something to write about. I'm here for it. So Mark wakes up, he realizes that it's Morpheus, he's in like a building where all the patients are knocked out, he finds a mailman, and he touches the mailman to try to wake him up, and he just instantly is like put into the mailman's dream, and the guy's like the mighty mailman, so he's like a hero, and he's got like the precocious Posty, who's his sidekick, like dressed in Moon Knight gear, and it's Mark, you're like, this is strange, and you're just slaughtering a bunch of creatures and looks like they're demonic in some sense. This guy's having a weird dream, but Mark suddenly snaps back and he's in like a whole new consciousness trying to figure out, okay, what's going on. All the while that's happening, he's having a conversation with Morpheus. Like, Morpheus is talking to him like, hey, I don't know what's going on. Our powers are weirdly connected somehow. I guess maybe like our history makes you go through all this stuff. I don't know how it's working. All I know is I want to hurt you, so I'm going to do something for you and see what happens. Suddenly, Mark sees a glowing light of pink, this like fuchsia color, so he starts to head in its direction. He walks inside. We see that it's Jake Lockley, and we are now inside Jake's dream, and oh my goodness. Another thing this book just subtly does perfectly, it does two things in this sequence. One, it gives every distinctive alternative personality a color. Mark's is blue. Jake's has always been a darker color, so that works. And two, it shows you the real emotion that these personalities feel. So Jake is like, look, I just won big at the ponies. I want to throw a party. Everyone here's just celebrating and we're just having a good time. The idea in place is like, this isn't really a nightmare. Like, Jake's getting to live the life he wants. Why is that? like it's his dream. And that's when Mark's like, oh, okay, I gotta go. That's weird. So he bursts through another door, starts to freak out, and he like crashes down in front of Grant Manor. You're like, Grant Manor? What's he doing in Grant Manor? And he like goes up to the window to try to see what's going on. Goes inside, and there's Samuels. Do you remember Samuels, his butler from a while back? And Netta's there too. And Marlene's there. He's like, wait, is this my dream? No, it's not. It's Steven's dream. Steven just wants a life without Mark. And we see Steven actually sees Mark looking at him through the window, and he's like, oh shit, I've been made. And what I really like about that sequence, because up until now, like, this is a nightmare, right? No, it's not really a nightmare. Mark thinks he gets the life he wants at the beginning, so he gets his happy ending with the family he can never have. That's cool, right? The postman gets to slaughter a bunch of demons as a superhero, and then we see the future and the life that both Jake and Steven want. Jake wants to help people that can't be helped, the voices that aren't heard or aren't talked about. He wants to help those people. And Steven wants Marlene. And I'm like, that is such good tension. What a cool idea to play with later. And as he crashes through another reality, Morpheus is like, well, what would make you happy? Do you want respect? Do you want people to respect you? So we see Moon Knight in a scene where, like, the Avengers are talking to him, and Captain America's like, hey, you're doing good, buddy. You want to join the Avengers? You know, a book that Jed MacKay's writing now, so he could if he wanted to. And Mark's like, no, this isn't real. So he slashes at that Steve Rogers and knocks him down. It's like, what about adventures and drama with your best gal? What about Revenge on the Moon God? You could finally take down Khonshu. What about, you have like your brother or a different brother. You could see like Jean-Paul show up and Badir show up. Maybe everybody who you were ever mad at, maybe everybody who is mad at you likes you now. And we see Gina and Crawley show up in this book too. Again, classic characters that we haven't really explored yet in this book. That's awesome to see. And then you see, like, well, maybe you guys can all build your own lives around you. Then we see a shot where Mark, Jake, and Steven are all separated. And that's when Mark just goes, no, that's not real. And then we just got to another sequence where he's like, are you crazy? This is crazy. Like, I'm offering you happiness, and you're not taking it. Why do you want that? Do you want endless violence? Is that what you want? Just to, like, beat people up forever? He's like, no. That's not what makes me happy. And I really like this sequence where it's like, what happiness I have, I earned. What happiness I have is real. And it's like, these are the people that he has recently met. We have Soldier and Reese and Badir, and we have Greer and her son. And you're like, that is a really good idea, because Mark, more than any other character really, in the larger Marvel universe, is a guy who is like, I know what I'm about. It's not great sometimes, and it puts me out of favor with a lot of people, but I'm not somebody who needs the happy ending. I can earn my happiness, and I have earned what I have of it is mine to keep. I think that's a really powerful moment and something I really respect for him. Where, yes, we can see the happy lifestyle that Jake wants to leave, and we can see the happy lifestyle that Steven wants to leave. But Mark doesn't get, the white picket fence where he's home with Marlene and Dietrich. He doesn't want that. He's a character who is broken on the inside, and that is how he should stay. And then suddenly, he snaps back into the real world, and he finds Morpheus lying on a bed like, all right, Moon Knight, you win. I give up. Nobody else ever has been willing to throw away happiness the way you just have. So, yeah, I'm not doing so hot. I'm actually dying right now. And you're like, what? Excuse me? Another classic character Jed MacKay is just like casually throwing away. It's a really beautiful sequence. Like, this end sequence to this book is so powerful, where Morpheus is like, look, I don't know. Okay, they took things out of me. I'm not doing so great. This guy said, why don't we go somewhere and mess with Moon Knight a little bit? And I was like, I guess that might be fun for a minute. So in his last moments alive, when he knows he's going to die, the only thing that Morpheus wanted to do was try to make people happy. He wanted to try to spread some joy into the world. Oh, that's so beautiful. That is a powerful moment. Like, oh, I really like that, where it's like, yeah, even if it's Moon Knight, and I'm desperately trying to get you the happy ending. I am showing, like, everyone else in this building has their happy ending, but you are refusing to accept that. And look, I just wanted in my last moments to give you something to look forward to. It's like, I guess that didn't work for you. And Mark's just like, well, can I help you with anything? Is there anything I could do for you? You know what? Can you just get the guy that did this to me, that abused me and used me and threw me aside like this? if I'm gonna die like right here, right now, while I'm like on my last life, kill that son of a bitch, you know? And he's like, of course, who is it? Give me a name. Oh, it's a good name. Oh, it's a good name. Because now Morpheus has finally given something that Moon Knight... Because now Morpheus has finally given Moon Knight something he wants. A name of somebody from his past. Black Spectre. Oh, man. And that's where the book ends. It ends with Morpheus dying in the arms of Marc, saying, I did it. I finally found something you wanted. Black Spectre's name has been invoked. Is he the mastermind behind this entire operation? I seriously think it is. That, like, oh, dude, Jed, we think so similar, man. Like, it could easily be Bushman, but it's so cliched at this point. It's Spectre. Like, he's the other iconic character to do something with. Beautiful. This book was so great. To see the lives that all of these characters could want but are never going to get is such a beautiful sequence. Sabatini's artwork is so sharp and clean, and it's very anime inspired, and Marc just looks like a cool guy in every single page. Using an old character like this to do something creative and fun that works in story for what this book has always been about. It's kind of cool. Because I think at its core, this run on Moon Knight has really been about the struggles of happiness and how you can try for it, but you're never going to get it the way that Marc lives his life. I mean, that's kind of what it's been about. I just dig it. I dig it so much. It's so cool to see that. And just like the final couple pages where it's just Marc and Morpheus just like, well, I thought this was the way to go. And then he tried to kill me, and now I'm dying. And if I die, I just want to spread happiness because I don't know anymore. Beautiful. Beautiful. Utterly beautiful and fantastical. It has been a while since I've been this jazzed about a Moon Knight run. And I'm very sad that it's going to be ending soon. I don't know. It's just so good, and it's so beautiful. Black Spectre, man. Like, that's it. That's how you set up where we're going. And we're doing Scarlet Scarab in issue 25 to set up a mini series. Like, come on. Fantastic. This is what dreams are made of. I adore this issue. So, Moon Knight issue 24, I am going to give a 9 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.